Hello, lovely people out there. How are you all doing? I'm Kate Hill, and welcome to the Adviseable Property News Update. Now, we do give you the best, honest, balanced commentary and content on our channel. So before we get started and we do anything else, please let me ask you to subscribe to our channel, hit the notification bell so that you get all our expert hints and tips around buying, owning and investing in property as soon as we post them. And as important, if you're enjoying our free content, you're finding it useful, please click on the all important like button too. We do really appreciate your support. Now, as always, for those of you who know me, you can absolutely skip along here to this bit so you can get straight into it. And to all those who are new to our channel, welcome. I'm so happy that you found us, and please do keep watching. To explain what qualifies me to be sitting here and talking to you about property buying, owning and investing, again, who the heck are you, Kate? Me and my team, we are professionals in property. We have been in real estate for a really long time, advising and helping people. We've seen most things happen, the comings and goings, the ups and downs of property cycles. We ourselves own and invest in property. We walk the walk. We are also qualified property investment advisors. We don't get paid by anyone to sell property, and we do actually genuinely care about empowering you to get the best outcomes for yourselves. We are experts at what we do. We attend auctions, we appraise, we analyze, we buy property. We are at the property coalface 24/7. So I hope that's convinced you. So this week's news update will cover off on first home buyers rushing into that market, confidence growing in the Australian housing markets, Melbourne auction rates surging, and a speedy Australian economic recovery being forecast. So while I'd much rather, as always, that you watch the whole few minutes of my little video, please do, of course, skip along to each particular segment that you're interested in if you don't want to watch the whole thing. You can also watch one of my videos here. I've listed it in the description below. It's where you will get a more in-depth discussion on the latest from the Melbourne and the city property markets. So first off today, I'd like to report back a little bit from the action on the ground, not just the stats and figures, which I know that we all love. First home buyers are rushing into the property markets, I think encouraged by the fact that COVID-19 has not adversely affected the property markets in any meaningful way yet, and they are spurred on by low interest rates and government assistance. Several banks are also reporting that mortgage application volumes are back to pre-COVID levels, and confidence has started to return to the industry. Now, when I was out at the weekend inspecting properties for clients, there were literally hundreds of people out and about. It was also a very wet weekend, which can literally put a dampener on things in terms of people turning out for open homes, right? At one particular open home, there must have been 50 to 60 groups through this house. There were massive queues outside because the agents need to get everyone through in a COVID-safe manner, of course. So I was there for the full 30 minutes on this particular open, and people just kept coming. The roads were blocked. It was absolute mayhem out there. There were people grabbing offer forms and filling them out there and then. There was a real sense of urgency about this purchase and about not missing out. Now, I secured a purchase for my clients on Sunday. It wasn't that particular property, it was a different one that I went to look at. But we were one of many offers on our part. It was really just knowing the seller's circumstances really well, having a good relationship with the agent that swung the deal for us. So, of course, I've got really happy clients who have secured their first home in a really fabulous location, close to some major infrastructure projects coming up. But there is definitely a sense of calm and normality out there in terms of property and how it will perform, but a real sense of urgency in terms of the buyers out there. The Bank of Queensland chief executive has said that people are feeling more comfortable about how well the health crisis is being managed. They're also feeling more comfortable about the stimulus packages that we're getting. It's the low interest rates that are encouraging people to get into housing, and it's just made it very, very affordable. So, though house prices have dropped in some parts of Victoria and New South Wales, they have now stabilised in those areas, and they are even trending higher in Queensland and other states and territories. And as I've just shown and explained, there are also areas around Sydney where prices have certainly not dropped and are more active than ever. A Westpac consumer survey for October shows that confidence in the Australian housing market is rising, little along the lines of what we were just talking about. And this reveals a strong uplift in consumer sentiment. The National House Price Expectations Index grew by 32%, with all states registering a double-digit increase. The National Time to Buy a Dwelling Index increased 11% in the past month, rising to its highest level since September 2019. Westpac Chief Economist Mr. Bill Evans says it is an extraordinary result, stating that the overall consumer sentiment index was up 32% in the past 2 months and 10% above the average level in the 6 months prior to the pandemic. The report states that such a development must be attributable to the response to the federal budget, ongoing success across the nation in containing the COVID-19 outbreak, and the expectation that the Reserve Bank Board is likely to cut further interest rates at its next meeting on the 3rd of November. There was also a stunning lift in confidence around job security, said Mr. Evans, with the index improving by 14% back to early 2019 levels. Now, not surprisingly, Melbourne auction rates have surged. Overall, there were 1,456 capital city homes taken to auction this weekend, the largest volume of auctions seen since April. According to preliminary CoreLogic figures of the 1,100 results collected so far, 842 were successful. 1 year ago, of course, a much higher 2,622 capital city auctions took place. The increase in overall volumes this week can be attributed to the ramp up in activity across Melbourne, where 505 homes were taken to auction. This makes it the busiest week that the city has seen since July, and also the largest number of auctions held across Melbourne on a grand final weekend historically. The increase in activity across the city returned a preliminary auction clearance rate of 72.6%, which is higher than the 65% preliminary figure from last week. Not surprising. Now, the media will never be able to resist tempting you with a headline like this. But according to the latest business outlook from Deloitte Access Economics, Australia's economy is forecast to rebound quickly, growing by 3.4% on average over the next 5 financial years. That headline wouldn't tempt half as many of us to click on the link, right? Deloitte say, if things go right and the virus numbers go right, you genuinely start to get a beautiful recovery. They say that previous recessions or downturns in Australia had been followed by times of faster growth as workers and industries resumed activity. The point that people have not understood is that we will grow really fast when we come out of this, he says. And the bigger the downturn, the bigger the recovery. Deloitte forecasts that after contracting by 2.5% in this financial year, real gross domestic product growth will grow by 4.4% in 2021 to 22 and 4.1% by 2023 and 4.1% by 2023 before tailing off to 2.8% by the middle of the decade. Deloitte expect the recovery to be supported by low interest rates, which they say will be flat to the floor until mid-2024. Please don't forget to just subscribe to our channel quickly, leave me a comment below, let me know the kind of content you like, hit the like button, we do really appreciate your support. And I will see you again really soon. Bye.